Hi, welcome to Fight Me. My name is Jamie Bader. I will be your host today. And today we're talking about how to invest or investing in relationships. There are also way too many dad jokes in this episode. And I kind of think they're dumb, but it's okay. I'm going to allow them. Thank you so much for coming. We're so glad you're here, and let's go. Don't worry, I'm going to edit this. And I'm going to have a double, triple
You
check.
You double check before dropping this episode.
Double stuff, double, triple check, all of that. And what?
No comment.
We were amazing that time. We don't have to worry.
We got lucky.
We're blessed.
Hey, do you want to hear a joke about pizza?
I want to hear a joke about pizza. But hold on, let me pull up.
Don't worry about it. It's too cheesy.
That is ridiculous.
What?
And also my favorite kind of pizza. So I appreciate it. If it's not cheesy enough, or like, I don't even want it. Don't give it to me. It's not pizza at that point.
There you go.
I'd rather just take a stick of cheese and dip it in cold marinara sauce.
Do you know what you call a cold dog? A chili dog.
Oh man. I'm like, my brain cells are just like dying off. I was actually like, oh, a hot dog.
Yeah.
Opposite.
That's right.
It's opposite day.
How did the buffalo say goodbye to his son?
I don't know.
Bye, son.
These are the worst.
Those are dad jokes.
What? Why are they specifically dad jokes? Do dads choose to be that dumb?
Corny, very corny. Just like.
Why does that make me laugh though?
Because they're hilarious.
I guess maybe it's like
because they're hilarious.
Dumb audience jokes because everyone's like, ha ha, that's hilarious. And then it does make you laugh because you're like, I should have known that.
Yeah, exactly.
I should have been more astute to words. Okay. I'm going to prompt.
Where do you learn to make banana splits?
Don't even. I can't even try because it's so dumb.
It's Sunday school.
No. I'm so sorry.
That's like a banana ice cream / church joke.
Secretly, I wish my dad used to say stuff like that, like jokes like that. Was your dad like a big like dad joke guy?
What? No, my dad was not a dad joke guy. Are you kidding me?
It was serious face.
You know David.
David? David, tell us a dad joke. No, go give me my honey bun from the kitchen.
Let me tell you a story.
What? Tell me a story.
That would be him. He's a storyteller.
Oh, he's a story. Yeah, he is a storyteller.
He's a storyteller.
Now, what about my dad? What would you say?
What?
Do you want to say it?
No.
We're gonna call out to Kim P. Patrick Riley. Kimbo Slice out holding up Westfield Pharmacy like a real winner.
Yeah.
He is amazing. And the thing is he never really did jokes, but he was easily like, it was easy to get him to laugh, like to chuckle.
Yeah.
So that was always.
I was gonna say he's a chuckler. He will definitely.
And then we'll all be like, "Whoa, what was so funny, Dad?"
I'll make little quips, and he just chuckles.
No,
along.
He definitely laughs more at my jokes.
Probably.
Don't even start with the like, I'm the best child, or
what do you call what do you call a lion with no eyes?
A lion with no eyes.
Yeah.
Lawn.
That's right.
Yes.
You got it.
Yes.
You got it. You nailed it.
I'm on point today.
Boom.
Boom.
Well, you probably are thinking what would be the corniest answer that I
can
exactly.
And I was trying to get like the most literal like possible answer in my head, and I'm like, lawn. It's the worst.
All right, last one. What did one ocean say to the other?
I have no idea.
Nothing. They just waved.
It's so dumb. I can't even breathe. It's so dumb. Okay. Okay. But I do appreciate for the raising the energy on that. And you're just going to keep looking at them. I know it. And you're going to keep inserting them into the conversation today.
Maybe.
Maybe.
This is what relationships are all about.
Now, to get like the worst dad jokes, what kind of prompt do you think that you would need to put into ChatGPT? Talk to me about the dumbest prompt.
I have no idea.
What do you mean? You don't have no idea.
What are you talking about? Just put bad dad jokes.
No, that's too basic. ChatGPT needs to be told exactly like they need to know the aggressiveness of the search.
Cringe-worthy dad jokes. I don't know.
Cringe-worthy dad jokes, but not the dumb ones. I want intelligent.
Like where do polar bears keep their money?
Not like Chad.
Where do polar bears keep their money?
I don't know.
In a snowbank.
That is not. That's not a thing. It's not even a. It's a snowbank. Whatever. Okay, got it. Okay, wordplay with a twist. I like this one. I like this one. Thanks, ChatGPT. Thanks. Okay, I told my wife she would embrace her mistakes. I told her that she should embrace her mistakes.
So she gave me a hug.
Yes.
Oh.
What?
ChatGPT's stupid. That's like that's predictable though.
Okay, wait. Okay. How about a nerdy but clever one? I tried to write a chemistry joke, but the reaction was too basic.
What?
Okay.
Yeah, I got you.
Oh man. Okay. ChatGPT, like act like a comedian. I'm gonna tell it to do that. Let's see if it listens. Because I'm just like, I need you not to be basic right now. All right, mic check 1, 2 is what it said to me.
A wife asked her husband, "How would you describe him? How would you describe me?" A wife asked her husband, "How would you describe me?" The husband said, "A, B, C, D, E, F, G, I, J, K."
Okay.
All right. She said, "What does that mean?" He said, "Adorable, beautiful, cute, delightful, elegant, fashionable, gorgeous, and hot." She said, "Oh, thanks so much. But what about the IGK?" He said, "I'm just kidding."
IJK.
Yeah.
You said IGK.
IGK. Sorry, I messed it
Oh
up.
man, that could have
Boom,
been
that
the
was a
best
fail.
one.
That was a
I'll
fail.
press a noise button. I don't know for that one. I don't even know. What is this one? Oh, that was
Lame.
lame. Okay, wait.
What about
What else?
A child asks his father.
What?
A
What?
child asks his father, how are people born?" And so the father went up to him and told him all about Adam and Eve and how babies were made, and then their babies became adults, and then they made more babies. And then so the child went and asked his mom the same question, and she said, how were people born? And so she said, "Well, we were once monkeys, and then we evolved, and we became humans." And so the child went back to the father and told him that you lied to him, like that he had lied to him. He
Yeah.
said, "No, I'm not lying. That's just." She's like, she explained how her part of the family came to be.
Monkey business. That's nice. And we would never say that about our family because
No.
both of us have amazing sides of our family.
Amazing families.
Amazing. And partially, this is kind of playing into a little bit of what we're going to talk about today. So you ready to fight?
I'm fighting already.
Let's fight.
You are calling my
What?
jokes bad and corny.
That's right. I'm trying to get you to fight. I'm trying to get you to fight for something. Okay, wait. So welcome to Fight Me. We got it. You got to blow it up here. Welcome to Fight Me.
Welcome to Fight Me.
Yeah, there we go. No, that's not Chad, the bomb was the worst. Okay, anyway. We're so glad to be here today as Chad is scrolling for even more terrible jokes.
Oh, we're official now.
Yeah, we are official. What do you mean?
Like we're officially recording.
Official. We've been official for like 18 plus years. The podcast today is official right now. Actually, it was official like maybe 10 minutes ago?
10 minutes ago.
And then we just had to get the energy going, get,
We're rolling.
stuff rolling. We had to get some jokes on the table.
Jokes on the table. I like it.
Thanks. Okay. It was really important for us to start that way. So anyway, welcome to Fight Me. So glad you're here.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, we're,
This is my highlight of the week, every week.
this is the highlight of your week.
Yep.
I like it. Okay.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's
I'm
good.
glad. I'm glad because this is fun. It's fun to set up, fun to talk, fun to
Just hit the record button and let's
hit
roll.
record and roll.
Yep.
What are we rolling?
What are you
What?
doing? We're rolling. We're
know.
rolling the podcast out.
That was supposed to be an interesting answer from you, but you decided not to. I can see in the moment you're like, I'm not going to answer like I want you to answer. We're not rolling anything,
Although
folks. We are just rolling tape.
A good fruit roll-up sounds really good.
Actually, I haven't had one of those in.
I know. Tell me about it.
They don't have them here.
No, they do not.
Okay, just so you know, Guatemala does not have fruit roll-ups, so
Not real fruit roll-ups.
they have the what? What
No,
are they
but
called?
they'll have like these.
They'll just cut up fruit and roll it. Like that's what's happening right here.
Right.
They'll be like, oh, we're just gonna, mango, make this mango look like a
if you look
fruit
at the
roll.
gluten-free section and stuff like that, they have like some like imported stuff from the States that are kind of like knockoff.
It's
But
leather.
and occasionally you do find fruit by the foot. I do know
Ooh,
that.
yeah. Oh.
I do remember seeing fruit by the foot occasionally.
And what do we do when we find something that we don't typically find in the store?
Buy 3 boxes.
Buy
of it.
the stock.
That's
and
right.
then tell our friends that we saw it there. And then they go there and they don't see it
That's right.
because we bought it.
That's right.
We like to do
Flies
that.
off the shelf.
Yeah, that's the thing about the weird thing about here is like there's almost this, sad to say, like a little bit of a scarcity mindset when you go to the store because once you see something that you want and you like, you just straight up have to buy
But
it all.
It's true. In our defense, it's true. Like before you know it, all of a sudden it's gone and they're not offering it anymore.
Yeah, like the dark version of like what is it? The sugar. No, not like they have a million types of sugar here, right? But they don't have the brown sugar.
Okay.
So like they have sometimes
you
they
mean
have
for like baking.
for baking because it's important to me, right?
That's right.
Especially during the holidays.
Yes.
They don't have brown sugar that's easy to find. Occasionally you can find it at these Korean marts that they have, like highly imported spaces, but they're not always there. But I do have friends that I can contact and be like, hey, where did you get your baking stuff? Because it's seasonal. All of us moms typically, like not all the time, but like typically are on the lookout for things that people like. And so we'll be like, hey, your thing is here at Walmart, or I saw it. We do have Walmart, by the way. Or like, I found it at the store. Do you want me to grab you one? And yeah, that's always a
Walmart's
thing.
pretty big here.
Walmart is big here, but I don't think they have.
And they also have like grocery stores here that they've like broken off, and it's like a even more generic than like Walmart brand.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
Yeah.
But Walmart doesn't have the same selection as like anything near the Walmart in the States.
No. Definitely not.
There's a lot of beans, a lot of bean options.
A lot of bean options.
Lots of pasta options. I've noticed that.
Yes, I do notice that. It's like walking down the cereal aisle in the States.
It is. And I love the cereal
think there was
aisle.
that many varieties.
I know. I didn't realize there were so many ways to have a bean.
Yeah.
Cooked, processed, shaped, canned, bagged. Like there's these I got to just say this one thing before we really get started.
Okay.
There's these like huge tight I don't even know how to explain them, but essentially you can buy like beans with liquid.
Yes.
Like it's almost as if your grandma cooked it and then put it in this like really thick sack.
It almost looks like a thicker sized cookie dough roll.
Oh, I know you love cookie dough. Okay, yeah. So think
of that like wider.
Think of like huge barrel size.
Like a little mini barrel.
A mini
maybe about a
barrel
foot
with
long.
clips on the end, but if you shake it, you're like, whoa.
Whoa, there's liquid in here.
This is like a liquid bean bomb. If this thing broke.
But you pop it in the microwave and cook your beans.
You pop it in the microwave?
I believe so.
There's no way.
Maybe
It does not
I've never
fit.
bought one, so I actually don't know.
Okay, let's do an experiment.
Next time we're at the grocery store, I'm going to pick one up. Not buy one, but I will look at the directions for cooking.
But they come in various size. One is like atomic bomb size.
That's not true. I don't think so.
It is so true.
Okay.
Communities buy
It
these.
could be, yes.
And like they're huge. My biggest worry in that space is what if one pops it would be a massive explosion
Sure.
of beans and liquid.
Clean up on aisle 3.
Oh, it'd be terrible. No, it
Yeah.
wouldn't even be at the store. In my luck, it would be in a bag, and I'd be like,
Probably in the trunk of your car.
oh man, it would
Beans
hurt
everywhere.
someone. Yeah, there would
Yep.
be injuries for sure. Okay, so that being said, I've got a lot of thoughts about Guatemala and their stores.
Sure.
Today's topic is investing in your relationships.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't even know. Oh, we should definitely, ask ChatGPT.
Are you talking about like my friends on Facebook? 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 Are you talking about my friends on Facebook?
We are learning to talk today.
Yeah. Investing in those relationships?
3 in those 3 relationships.
No.
Is that what you said?
I have thousands of friends.
I know you do. And
they're all besties.
they're all besties. Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Man,
I love it
social
when
media.
you have a friend on Facebook and then you see them in public and then you like trying to remember their name. And it's like,
I know.
that happened to me the other day.
Yeah.
And I said the wrong name.
How did that go?
It wasn't awkward.
Did they defriend you immediately?
I think they were actually surprised that I actually remembered that their name started with I had the correct letter.
Oh, I love that. Oh, it's a shame. I often do not remember names.
Sure, yeah, you are very bad at names.
Okay,
I will say that.
I would like to put reframe that belief in the world. I am great at remembering names.
You have to use mnemonic devices.
I need to.
Mo face.
No. It's honestly, it's so situational. Like wherever I meet these people,
Right.
I have to if I remember exactly where I met them, like the literal place, latitude, longitude of where I met them, I usually can remember their name.
Yeah.
But if it was in passing and there was just so much movement, I will not. I will pick another name from my memory bank and put it on their face, and then
Right.
I've done that before. Not good results.
Not good results.
Yeah.
I have a funny story regarding that. So the other day I went out for like a ministry event and there was someone sitting in the crowd and I couldn't remember that person's name. I was just drawing a blank and I had remembered everybody else, but I asked the people next to me, I was like, what's that person's? And they actually didn't know.
They didn't know.
But you know how it is here. Like everyone has like a nickname.
They do.
All they could remember was the nickname.
What was the nickname?
And the nickname was Chivo, which is like what you would
Chivo.
say for like a young calf or like a young bull.
Really?
Yes. And
Chivo.
so that was
I like that.
That was his nickname.
Young bull.
I was like, well, and everyone, like we all just sat there laughing for a moment because I knew I couldn't just go up out of nowhere and just call him by his nickname, which
Why
meant
not?
young. Oh, I just would have felt awful.
But don't you know him enough that you could be like, yo, Chivo?
I don't know.
¿Qué
I just
andamos?
it didn't feel correct
No.
saying Chivo or young bull to this guy after not saying. So I wanted to call him by his official name. And
Mr.
finally-
Chivo?
But thankfully, after sitting there for like 10 minutes, it just popped in my head like randomly. Like it came back to me, but it was just funny in the moment. Like, oh, like all I can think of is his nickname.
Well,
And we've made that mistake before.
no, yeah.
And sometimes we'll have like our own nicknames for people.
Yes, I know that.
Yep.
Yep.
And
We won't say anything about that.
It doesn't always
It's not
go
bad.
well.
It's not
Yeah.
a bad or a good thing. It's just
Sure.
like our own nicknames, like everyone has for their friends. But
Sure.
no, that's really funny. There's when I'm approaching someone who I thought I knew their name or I lose my thought, like in that second, I forget their name.
Uh-huh.
I'm never more in prayer at that moment for the Holy Spirit to
Sure.
tell me the name. And I'm just like, where is it? It's in my mind somewhere. It's in my mind palace.
Yeah.
It's not coming to me.
That's when you just drop like the hey buddy.
Yeah,
hey,
it's
dude.
the
I
hey.
think guys have maybe a little bit easier.
Yeah, there's
What's
a
up,
bit.
man?
Do you say that? What's up, man?
I don't know. Like if I don't. I'm really good with names, so I'm not
You
I'm not
are good
gonna
with
sell. I'm
names.
not gonna sell myself out and say I don't know someone's name
No,
when I
you're
say
right.
what's up, buddy? What's up, man? So
No, okay. So everyone, let it be known, he is actually really good at remembering names. In fact, I go to him first if I can't remember a name, and he's usually knows he knows their first name, their 2 middle names, their last name, where they're from. Like he's got an excellent.
like there's times when you come out of the
profile.
bedroom in the morning and I have to remind you Olivia and Kingston
No,
are our kids' names.
Whatever. You know that's
you're
not
that
even true.
you're that bad with
No,
names.
Okay, let's like reframe it. I'm amazing with names, and up until now I haven't been. From now
Sure.
on, I will remember your name. Absolutely. I'm really putting that out into the universe. Okay. On a fun-ish serious note, let's talk about investing in relationships.
Okay.
And and so the thing is like, okay, I like to take inventory, or I want to invite like our listeners to take inventory of their friends or their like people around them that they spend a lot of time with, and inventory of who are your close people, right? Who are your like your favorites? Maybe like a one or two
Sure.
people, and then there's like it moves out into like, okay, our friends, and then
Concentric
yeah,
circles.
exactly. Sure. That being said, just like take an inventory, and once you take the inventory, okay, who brings you energy?
Uh-huh.
Who do you love? Who do you vibe with? Like
Sure.
what looks good in that space? And for sure, there's people we tolerate.
Not me.
For sure, there's my husband's friends that I tolerate.
Okay.
No, and there's probably people in my life that you're like, okay, I can see how you're friends with them, but like we don't vibe or whatever.
Sure.
And it's completely fine. Let's say it's a neutral
Yeah. And
space.
when we say like, oh, like there's people like that we have that are friends or maybe whatever
Yeah.
that we don't get. It's more like, I think it's just people that like, you just don't click with
Sure.
like, yeah.
Yeah, you don't click, or like we don't have
Yeah.
a ton in common, or maybe our personalities are different.
Sure.
Or, I mean, I always have this hope when I meet someone new, or I'll go out with like a new girlfriend, like for coffee and be like, hey, get to know each other. And I'm always hopeful that we connect, right? That there's things that we connect
Yeah.
with.
No one goes to have a coffee or whatever hoping that you don't have a
No,
connection.
well,
But
good
no, I
call.
agree. I agree. Yes. We
But
all go to with some optimism. At least
yes,
I would think that most of us go out for those kind of like
for sure.
first meetings with people or first hangouts with people with some optimism.
But I've been burned so many
Sure.
times. So
We've all been burned.
so just the hope of finding like, someone with a lot of like similar, even joking styles, and maybe, I don't know, common interests. Like maybe we can do things together that we both like to do. I don't know, like go explore, whatever. And I I know that there's that like oftentimes like I will find someone that I can connect with, and maybe there's like a couple things that we connect with, but not completely. And then I'll be like,
Hmm.
hey, okay, she has a husband. I'll be like, Chad, let me.
We have that in common.
Yeah, we have that in common. Also, like, would you like to meet? Like, should we hang out as a couple? And that's always a
Ooh,
thing.
that's danger zone.
It is a different zone, because the
Yep.
hope is then at that point that all four will jive.
Yep.
Anyway, that being said, we want to take like inventory on the people that are closest to us, that we have the most in common with, the people that we enjoy being with. And
Sure.
and I think
That's your inner circle, I
Inner
think.
circle. And we want, like, how do we invest in those people?
Yeah.
And the people that we're maybe not feeling so like are in our circle, how do we create these boundaries that allow us to actually, I don't know, place our energy more towards the people that bring us energy and, add value to our lives and are an encouragement, and we have a lot in common or whatever. Um, just noticing the difference, and then how to place the boundaries so that you're essentially trying to preserve your energy and your space for people
Mhm.
who pour life into you, not drain it,
Right.
not drain it. So what comes up for you now that we're thinking about talking about it?
Relationships?
Yep. Uh-huh.
Oh man. A lot of things.
Okay.
So, well, I mean, I think when we're talking about, so when you bring up the word relationships and
Mhm.
specifically in the case of friendships, I think there's like, and as you were sitting there explaining, I kind of went through like every kind of emotion on the spectrum. It's like,
Okay.
well, I mean, exciting as you got me thinking about like the inner circle or,
Yeah.
people that, either have been in my life like a long time. And even if we don't talk for even months at a time at this point, it's like you still just pick up where you left off.
Sure.
You have that history, you had those jokes, or you just know that you have like the same kind of interest, the same type of, you view the world similarly. And so there isn't that tension either. So that being said, I think, there is that, but then like as you were explaining, it's like, oh well, then there's the other relationships too,
Sure.
where And it's like, oh man, like, you get like a little bit not anxious thinking about some of those relationships. And you're like, oh, I know what you're talking about when you speak about those types of relationships,
Uh-huh.
because there are like relationships that can be draining.
Oh,
Um,
for sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things too with that is, um, you know, doing kind of like what we do within like the organization and or just life in general.
Okay.
Okay, I'll just speak life in general
Yeah.
because it isn't just that.
Yeah.
But I think we all are put in different situations where it's like you ultimately have to have some kind of connection to people that think differently, have different interests, that kind of thing. But like some of those relationships are also, I also consider extremely valuable because it
Yeah.
gives you different perspective, a different way of looking at things, and it kind of keeps you honest,
Oh, for sure. It
and
definitely
keeps
makes
you
you
grounded.
curious.
Yeah,
I like,
exactly. I think
oh,
the
wow.
curiosity is
Yeah.
like the big thing.
Well, and it's like, when I've met some people from different countries and cultures, I'm always just like so curious why they do what they do, as
Yeah.
they probably think of us too. Maybe like, man, why do they do
Yeah, I
that?
think of that all the time. Like, so like and obviously in most circumstances in like which we're engaging now,
Sure.
um, there's plenty of situations where it's like we're coming from a big different background, different upbringing,
Uh
different
huh.
culture, different values, um, even the way that like we relate to money,
Hmm.
whatever it is. I
Yeah.
mean, um, and just like to see the way that people view us, the assumptions that they make on us, and then also thinking about, oh, okay, I've I'm like I just don't have like the same rationale or
Sure.
come to the same conclusions that you all do.
Yeah.
So, but I found that very valuable. It just gives you like I said, it gives you like a very different perspective on
Yeah.
life, on relationships, and how you hold those things. So,
Yep.
and I think, so like the one example I'll give is like being in the culture that we're in is a high value on family, on taking care of the elderly, and like
Yep.
the way
It
that like
is.
America, like just to make a blanket statement, the way that Americans kind of have transitioned and now view, going into a senior citizen home and doing those kind of things, like that is not the way of this culture
No,
that we're in. It's
Guatemalan
very much
culture is
like
different.
mom and dad are going to come and stay with us, and like this is like where they're going to retire, and we will care for them, and
Yeah.
that's like what we do.
I
There is
respect
no,
that.
and yeah, it's just a completely different, and so it definitely gives you a different outlook, different perspective, and forces you to kind of think about like, oh, well, this is am I viewing it wrongly?
Hmm.
Um, and I think it just gives you like a little check.
No, I agree. And I really respect the culture here for how they care for like aging relatives. And there's often in these like houses, like throughout the communities, there are multi generations. Like you'll find these
Sure.
homes that are like we got great grandma, grandma, grandpa, and like it'll go all the way down to like cousins. So you'll have these homes full of people,
Hmm.
um, and and that can be really enriching to have like all those different family members in that one space. As I imagine, there's probably some other
Sure.
issues, some things that come up with having all the family there at once. And but I do respect it and I like it because it's very family oriented.
Yeah.
Um and it's something that we came so we didn't I didn't grow up in like families are bad, like everyone should go move out separately, but it feels that it's part of this culture of okay, like you grow up to a certain age and then you move out and you'll eventually get your own home and everyone has their own home and maybe they're in different states and so like here it's not very common
Right.
for that to happen. So being ingrained in this culture here, it's just interesting to see and it's almost there's almost this I like it.
Hmm.
And so now that our kids are getting older, especially Olivia,
Yeah.
and she's wanting to move, to go to university in the States, I'm like, oh man, I really love what they have here. And I see that it's also this culture we grew up in where,
Sure.
you grow up and you go.
Hmm.
Um, there's a little tension there for me because
Sure.
I'm like, man, stay and, like family and this. But I'm also like,
Yeah.
girl,
Go,
do your
girl.
thing,
Yeah. I
like
think there is
go.
like hey, maybe it's time to be independent.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
And like I said, it's not saying one person's doing it right, one person's doing it
Sure.
wrong. But I think, the other thing, just to bring this back, one of the things that like you really identified there is like I made the joke about concentric circles. It's kind of
Sure.
like you have your tight knit group,
Uh-huh.
but then it's also like those relationships that are also like on the outside too. And I think one of the things that is really really important is kind of defining like where your boundaries are, and also
Sure.
defining where your values are.
Yeah, no, that's a really good idea that you brought up boundaries and values because those things will, first of all, your values, once you understand your values, those will help you decide, okay, who around me is aligned with my values. And
Sure.
a lot of that determines your circle of people and also trust. If there's people that don't respect your values or don't align with them,
Hmm.
likely you might have a little less trust towards them in
Sure.
those specific areas. So, boundaries, that's where they come in.
Yep.
And like how do we create boundaries for ourselves so that we're not just like yes people.
Yeah.
Like anyone comes into our circle and they're
And
like, "Hey, can you do this or can you do that or can you meet with me?" And maybe it's just not a good fit. I mean, I think it's being really clear on like, okay, no, or maybe like
sure.
later or
Yeah, I mean,
never.
I feel like I'm constantly getting text messages
Yeah,
for
Chad
for
does.
coffee for coffees.
Yeah, for
It's
coffees.
like, let's get together for coffee.
Yeah.
Let's do this. And I'm like, yeah, that's great. I wouldn't mind seeing some of
Yeah.
these people.
And that can be fun.
And
It
that
can be
could be
fun.
fun.
Hmm.
And I do try to make space, but it's also like um I can't meet every single request
Sure. Sure.
and still be faithful to my responsibilities, and also to like the relationships or the friendships, not only like obviously at home, but then the friendships
Yeah.
like that I am invested in. And so I think that there are like those boundaries that we need to set, but still leave space, I mean, obviously, to explore and have some
Yeah,
experiences for other people, because
for sure.
um yeah.
You might be surprised.
Yeah, and you might be surprised.
Like,
Like I remember recently had to sit down with a conversation with somebody, and it was
yeah,
just really encouraging. It was
yep.
really engaging, and I mean, we've all had those meetings too that go sideways when you're like 30 minutes into a conversation, and it's like, oh man, how do I get out of
Or
this?
maybe
So
maybe our values don't align and
yeah,
then like there's these questions that come up or the conversations that come up and you're like, "Okay, I really want to say what I feel about this particular subject. Who knows? Maybe it's politics." And you're like, I maybe you can already
mm,
sense that they don't have that same stance as you, whatever that means.
sure,
Um, but at that point, my advice or something that I do is I just start to get really curious. I'll ask questions.
yeah,
Um, and maybe that's this way of deflecting so I don't actually have to answer it myself. But when it comes time to answer it myself is being brave and actually, taking a risk of, okay, well, this is what I believe. I'm not going to people please you
oh yeah.
just so that we can have a decent like cup of coffee.
Yeah, we've both had experiences like that,
Yes.
right? Where we've
Yes.
been on opposite ends of political views
Yep.
or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And it's like I think some people have made assumptions
Yeah, for sure.
like about us.
Mhm.
And it's like, oh, well, they don't fit that mold, and that surprises them. And
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and sometimes that can lead to like maybe a little bit of friction or
Yeah, a little bit of
tension.
tension.
So it's I think the more that you can practice having these conversations, right, where
Yeah.
it might not be smooth sailing, like not everyone agrees with you, that's just like good practice of like holding your boundaries, holding your values straight, holding
Hmm.
your views straight, but also being curious as to, okay, I'm willing to be wrong. But I'm also not going to just say yes and people please you to the point where I've lost my own identity.
Correct.
And that can happen easily when you're just maybe if you want to only keep the peace. Like you're like, "Oh, I thought I was only here to have coffee and talk about fun things." And then next thing you know, it's gotten it's gone downhill and I still want to enjoy my coffee, but like the guy
This
just
coffee is
refilled
so
it.
bitter.
This coffee tastes bitter now. Why? Yeah. So taking inventory, are these people like that you want to keep within your circle, or is it
Sure.
like, okay, does a boundary need to be placed? And also notice, like, are you tolerating these people? And
Yeah.
if you're tolerating these people, maybe it's time to, maybe there's a boundary that needs to happen or a conversation or, how you're experiencing them.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just time to like invest your time in someone else that you're finding that brings more life and adds value
Yeah.
to your
I
life.
think we all need to have relationships that are encouraging. And I
Oh,
think it's
yes, so
really
helpful.
and I feel like recently I've had some conversations with several people where it's like they've said that this person's like their best friend and they are constantly in relationship with them, but it's like the relationship is extremely draining. And it's
No,
like,
yeah,
and I'm like, is this really like what you're hoping for out of like a best friend like relationship? And
sure.
I think that there is something about longevity, like in relationships, realizing that the path is not always going to be smooth and those kind of
No, it's not
things.
like a happy
It's not
meter
a happy,
here.
it's not a happy meter. That's not what I'm saying at all. But what
Yeah,
I'm saying is like if it's something that's like just constantly like butting heads or there's extreme differences, it's like, well, maybe is that person like really the person that's like your best friend? And so I mean I'm looking for relationships that like I feel encouraged, I feel seen,
hmm,
that like my opinions are at least heard.
yeah,
They don't have to agree with them. I think that's sometimes
sure,
like a misconception too, is like, oh, we have to have the same interests and we have to have the same
right.
worldview and we have to agree on this. Um, no, I think that, like I said before, I think there is some value in having differences, but I think it's as long as like there's a respect, like between people,
And I like that you
too.
said that because there is this idea of when you're having a conversation with someone, and this can go, like text or email or face to face conversation is like, what interpretation are you having of this person? Is it a very generous interpretation of how they're acting, what they're
Mm,
saying, or how they're responding, or do you have a very fixed mindset on, oh, they said this, so it must mean this? And that's often something that, especially in text, because there's no tone. I mean, there's emojis, but those don't always help because we have our own. We identify with certain
yeah.
emojis differently than other people, although they do add an extra flair, which can be helpful. However, in a lot of texting, especially like if there's some type of tension or conflict, it is not a helpful space to be. However, you might want to think, okay, what is the most generous interpretation of this text right now? It's rubbing me the wrong way, but like
Mhm.
what could be the, behind it that I'm not seeing?
Yeah.
And or maybe it's time to actually pick up the phone and call them. Like
Yeah.
you can actually have or video, set up a Zoom
Yeah.
or text with voice, like a voice text. I actually like those a lot because it's like you can have this conversation where there's tone and there's excitement and there's, whatever. And so it's easier to understand the sentiment behind the words. And so of maybe avoiding kind of this space of text, especially if there's conflict or tension. Um, but yeah, so I love that you brought that up about like having a mutual respect,
Yeah.
and I think curiosity comes with that as
And
well.
so what I'm just like, this just came to my mind
Sure.
too, as I want to hear like kind of like your thoughts on it. I
Okay.
probably have my own thoughts on it.
Okay. Of course
So
you do.
what would you say to it? Because I think there's also some relationships or some friendships out there are like, this person is like a really good friend of mine, but
Yeah.
we never speak about blank.
Oh
You know what
yeah.
I mean? Like there's
Yes.
definitely those relationships where it's like I can understand that maybe in family because you got to be in a relationship with
Sure.
family.
Of course.
And maybe there are
Yeah.
hot button issues and it's like people feel very
Mm-hmm.
passionate about, and maybe those are things that maybe to keep the peace at Christmas or to keep the peace at
Sure.
wherever holiday events or family gatherings, it's like, well, maybe we shouldn't just bring up this topic.
Yeah.
um but what do you think about people that have friendships that's like, well, this person's my really, really good friend, but the one thing that we just don't speak about ever is blank.
Yeah, no, this is a really good one because I actually it came up with a friend of mine that I have that it turned out to be a political thing. We don't talk politics because
Okay.
it's not that we necessarily disagree. It's just that this person has a very short fuse around politics.
Hmm.
And so then it turns from like maybe
Are you
this
talking about me?
yes, I'm talking about Chad. No, no. Well, I mean, we have low boiling points
Yeah,
about
and there
other
are marriages
things.
that operate like that too. I know plenty of marriages that's like,
Yeah,
but in marriages we just don't speak about this.
yeah. Are you talking about us?
Well,
No, no, I'm just kidding. We actually talk about everything. It's fine. And so yeah, this particular person, it's a hot button, it's a low boiling point for her, no politics. And I only do that because there's I think there's just general understanding because she wants to talk about it. And there's, I think, some assumptions on her side about my points of view around like specific points around politics,
Mhm.
and or like, things that are being passed or things that are going on in the States. And so what I like to do, not because I want to avoid it, because I'm willing to actually speak my voice, but because I have limited time with her typically, I like to shift the focus to like the things that we enjoy about each other
Sure.
and the information that I love talking to her about, which she's like an expert in certain areas. And so I'm always asking her, like, okay, what about this? What about that? And so it's just like really shifting the focus to the side that brings energy in life, and also be willing to be curious and not to lose your identity when the other conversations do show up. And
Yeah.
just or politely being like, hey, like I don't really, I'd prefer not to talk about that right now. I know we have conflicting views and some things we agree on, but because we have a short amount of time, I would love to talk about
Yeah.
this, or make an agreement about the conversation,
Yeah.
what you can
I
expect.
I definitely would not dwell on those topics,
No,
but I don't think that those should be like off limits. I think as
no,
long as you
maybe
both
not
have like
totally.
I think as long as you both have like a mutual respect for one another. And I think that ultimately that's like what kind of what the world needs more of right now is people that are willing to see people and say, this is like a dear friend of mine, someone that I care
Uh
about,
huh.
um, someone that I'm deeply invested in. And I can still hold like a different opinion. I can still hold different thoughts and opinions. But ultimately, like at the end of the day, like I really am for this person. And I consider this
Yeah.
person, and they've shown themselves loyal. They've shown themselves faithful. They've shown themselves to be a true friend of mine. And
Yeah.
so I don't think that those topics. I mean, even for us, I know you love to talk politics with me, and
I
that's a complete lie. But I know that is like even
I
I think
don't
even
talk
something that we don't
politics often.
we don't often like talk into just because we know there's like passionate feelings
Well,
about it.
that and
Yeah.
I just personally don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like I'd prefer to talk about other things.
Sure.
Um
Yeah, and I think I
and
mean I think a lot of people that like to bring up that kind of stuff is like, well, they're just kind of looking for an argument sometimes
sometime
too, and it's like,
maybe, I
well,
don't know, but like I think it's just noticing like when noticing the conversation in these like relationships when it starts to feel uncomfortable, take notice of that.
yeah,
Why is it feel uncomfortable?
yeah,
Is it because like I feel like I can't speak my mind?
sure,
Is it like maybe I don't feel smart enough in this subject?
yeah,
Or maybe I'm not, maybe I don't like this subject because, like I don't know, there's a history in my life about this subject. And I think we all get to choose what we want to talk about. We all get to choose who we want to spend time with and invest time with. And I think it's a neutral space. I would like it to be a neutral space for, we get to choose the people we want to allow into our lives and the people that we want to put boundaries around, because like it's just the beauty of choice that we have. Um, and also being aware that like curiosity can also bring you out of that space of like I know I'm going into a different like maybe I'm talking with someone who I wouldn't normally talk to, not because it's good or bad, just
hmm
because we just haven't talked. So being curious about what their life is like, what they believe. And hey, like that's great. They're awesome for having that belief too, because they also get to choose.
yeah,
So
action steps.
actions. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Let's talk about that too. I guess yes. So yeah, the kind of we've been, for the listeners, like we've been talking about this a little bit was taking inventory,
Sure.
right? And maybe this shifted less into like investing, but it shifted more into like taking like inventory of your relationships and seeing
Sure.
um the people you're around. Who do you want to be in your life? Like, are they in your life?
Yep.
And even like the sprawl of your friends, like
Yep.
coworkers and everything. Who do you want to be involved with and who do you want to build a friendship with or relationship with? And also, where are those people that you're tolerating? Maybe they're in your circle,
Uh-huh.
and maybe it's time to shift to, putting your energy somewhere else,
Yeah.
and or having a conversation about how they're showing up, or, having a conversation with them about like, I don't know, maybe there's something that needs to be resolved.
Like you did with me about the complaining.
Yeah, exactly. Call them out, folks. That's it. That's the thing is like, how many do you care enough about this person to tell them maybe something that
Yeah,
they don't want to hear or they wouldn't hear from other
sure.
people? Of course, ask permission.
Yeah,
Would you like some feedback? One thing
yeah,
I didn't do with my husband, but it is helpful. I love it when people tell me things that I can't see about myself because I'm like, I did not know. And that is terrible that I'm showing up like that.
yeah,
So anyway, that being said, who you tolerating, where there needs to be some boundaries, and the people that are close and you want to keep close, investing in them.
yeah.
Invest your
I think
time.
that would be my call to action. Is
Yeah.
just be intentional.
Yeah.
Like make time, make space. Like don't let the scheduling get in the way of being in a relationship.
Yeah.
And if you're single, like find yourself like with a solid group of friends.
For sure.
If you're married, obviously we have our spouses, but look for other relationships that are encouraging you. And it doesn't have to be, the double date night and that kind of thing, but just find relationships that that are encouraging,
Mhm.
that are investing even in speaking life like into your marriage,
Yep.
and are concerned about those things that obviously are more important than the friendship itself. So yeah, that'd be
No, I
my
love
call
that.
to my call to action for
Yeah,
people.
I love that for our listeners. Just like the idea of, okay, how am I investing in the people around me?
Yeah.
And what other ways could be possible that I could invest in them, and even just tell them how much you appreciate their friendship. I don't think that comes up very often.
Guys
Like
do it all the time.
yeah, guys probably do that all the time. It's literally, I think their way
You
of
don't know
doing
how
it.
much you mean
No,
to
no,
me,
no, no.
man.
I think their way of doing it is sending each other like scores on like football teams.
Or
That
memes.
or memes. It's like
Yep.
their way of being like, dude, you're my best friend. And they'll be like, oh, because they sent me the score or they sent me like a highlight or something like that.
Yeah.
That's probably shallow, but I have noticed it. I do the same with my friends in different things. So I'm
Okay.
I'm not gonna say that I am not a part of that equally, the meme sharing and just the overall fun with a friend. So yeah, I think that wraps up
Yeah.
mostly that for today. Thank you all for listening. Chad, thank you again for your participation.
No, I
And
love to be here.
it's so good to have you. Folks, we would love for you to support us in this space. And that could mean liking, subscribing, or commenting. Or hey, we love feedback too, right, Chad?
I love feedback. I
Yeah,
mean,
feedback
if
as
you don't
in
know that by now.
okay, he loves feedback. So like we would love to know if there's things, and there's a couple things coming up in these next episodes that that people have requested. Some of our listeners have requested that they want to hear about a certain topic, and so we're going to head there. But that being said, we would love to hear from you if there's something you want us to talk about specifically. Could be
Mhm.
relationships, could be marriage, could be money. It could be what's it like to be an expat or a missionary or relationship with God, like things like that. We would love to be able to talk about, and we would be curious to know if you would like to hear that as well. So that being said, all those ways is, like liking, subscribing, or commenting are no cost ways that you can support us in this space.
Mhm.
We are so grateful that you tuned in today. And until next time,
Fight me.
fight me.